The circumference of the Earth is nearly 25,000 miles. So how can one man possibly deliver presents to all the good boys and girls by himself in one night? Well, he doesn't. Santa has a lot of companions to help him deliver gifts. Let's start in the Netherlands to get the most controversial one out of the way. Zwarte Piet, or Black Peter, is a dark-skinned helper of Sinterklaas in the Netherlands. The origins of this character are muddled in controversy. More recent explanations say that he is an Italian or Spaniard chimney sweep whose face is permanently covered in soot. However, this explanation doesn't really hold any water. His first appearance is in a book by Jan Schenkman, and he is described as a black Moorish servant. The reason this is so controversial is how he's portrayed in the Netherlands. That is, by white Europeans in blackface and red lipstick. This tradition never made it to the United States, and it's easy to see why. In older traditions, both Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet would punish bad children, but in recent years that part of the story has fallen out of fashion. From here we move to France, where we find one of Santa's many child-punishing helpers. Pardon my French, but Père Fouettard, or Father Whipper. He wasn't always Santa's helper. He was a butcher in northeastern France, and one day he encounters 3 wealthy boys on their way to enroll in a boarding school. He captures the boys, kills them, and steals their belongings. He then cuts up their bodies and stews them in a barrel. St. Nicholas discovers this and resurrects the boys. At this point, he either repents and volunteers to become Santa's assistant, or Santa forces him to become his assistant as a form of punishment. He and Santa go around northern France, Luxembourg, and southern Belgium. Santa gives gifts to the children, while he punishes the bad ones. He sometimes has a whip or a rod to beat the naughty children with. He also has a wicker basket on his back to kidnap the especially naughty children. He is usually dressed in dark robes and sometimes has a darkened face, often claimed to be soot from going down chimneys. This character has not become nearly as controversial as Zwarte Piet, probably because his use is not as widespread and there seems to be no definitive version. Next we move from France to Central Europe, which has the highest density of Santa helpers. And if you know anything about German children's stories, then you know how frightening every one of them is. In recent years, the Christmas demon Krampus has seen his awareness outside of Europe skyrocket. And thanks to the internet, this character has seen a spike of popularity in the United States, but mostly from non-religious groups that were looking for some kind of anti-Christmas figure. In 2015, there were 2 different horror movies about him, and there are more in production as we speak. His origins, like most of Santa's helpers, is unclear. He may be a pre-Christian character that was adapted into local traditions when Christianity spread to Central Europe. He is often depicted as a hairy goat-like creature with horns and a long tongue with fangs. Like most of Santa's helpers, he is tasked with punishing bad children. And in modern depictions, especially those of the anti-Christmas variety, he is often used to represent anti-consumerism. The best known of Santa's German helpers is Knecht Ruprecht. In his youth, he was either a farmhand or an orphan that Santa took in. He wears brown robes and carries a sack, and this sack is often filled with soot or coal, which he would give to the naughty children. In some traditions, Knecht Ruprecht puts naughty children in his sack and then drowns them in a river. Side note, in the German version of The Simpsons, their dog is named Knecht Ruprecht instead of Santa's little helper. The last character we will look at is Belsnickel from southwestern Germany. Belsnickel is a mysterious, disheveled figure, clad in furs, wearing a mask, and has a long tongue. Like most of Santa's helpers, he carries something which he uses to beat naughty children. Unlike Santa's other helpers, however, he doesn't follow Santa around. Rather, he travels by himself, giving out treats to good children and punishing the bad ones. And in Austria, he is sometimes accompanied by the Krampus. Unlike most of these other characters, Belsnickel has been seen in the United States. The Pennsylvania Dutch, who are from southwestern Germany, brought this tradition with them to western Pennsylvania. So make sure you are good this year, especially if you're in Germany, because Santa has no shortage of companions to beat the naughtiness out of you. If you want more videos like this, then you can go ahead and click this annotation to subscribe to this channel. You can also click the bell icon next to the subscribe tab below this video to set up notifications for when videos are uploaded from this channel. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays!